Hey everyone, welcome to the Unforeseen Journey. So here we go. I'm going to start with a few minutes of kind of me talking about where I'm at the moment, mentally, emotionally, physically, to give you an update on things that are going on. Because you might notice there's kind of a bit of a shift that's happening in the way I'm communicating, the cadence of communication on socials and things like that. And quite simply, it's this. I'm recognizing that I am going through the next phase in my own kind of journey out the back of this midlife crisis, right? And nothing negative is happening in this, but I think as a result of the amazing course that I'm going through called Impact Accelerator, the things coming up for that as I'm digging through a lot of my personal backstory in my life, and in that a lot of my motivations for doing things has come to light. And I'm just noticing that I have, for the last few years, constantly filled the void of my own self with work and continuing to try and put more and more on top of that. So as I've become less busy with the closure of the gym last year, I have taken on more and more and more in terms of doing content and stuff like that, in terms of on the online stuff. And I'm just noticing in that again that these old habits are forming, in that I'm doing that as a mechanism to excuse me from actually doing that which I probably need to do right now, which is take time for myself, enjoy myself, and have faith in the fact that this will come. And coaching is going really well. I've been fortunate to sign up a really lovely few clients in the last few weeks. But what is coming for my coaching through doing for this course, I know is going to be life-changing for me and for all the people I currently coach, and for new people who come on board with what this is going to be. And that's the thing that's exciting, and it's making me take a step back from worrying about that right now, because I can feel like this is the culmination of my life's work into something that makes sense, and it specifically speaks to people who are experiencing some of the things that you may resonate with if you're listening to this. So yeah, that's going to be really exciting. I can't wait for that. And so one of the main things that's come up for me is making things a lot simpler for myself and for you as someone in my audience, and for my clients as well. It's really easy to think that for me to show my worth, both as a coach or even as a podcast or whatever it is, I've got to, put forward these really complex ideas and to show you how fucking impressive I am, blah, blah, blah. But it's really not that. And I'm noticing now that for me, the pull and the signal and message, whatever you want to call it, is to make things really fucking simple. So that's what I'm going to do. And the other part of that is to make it a lot simpler for myself. So in one particular way, I'm going to share that with you now. What I was doing in terms of like social media and podcasts and emails is I was doing a social media post every day. I was doing stories on Instagram every day. I was cross-posting things like LinkedIn, TikTok, fucking Facebook, etc., etc. And then every week I was recording one of these podcasts, then doing a separate email, and those things will all exist still, but I'm going to do them all in one day, and they're all going to come off the back of one of these podcast episodes. And each one of these episodes is only ever going to last 15 minutes. And the reason for that is that I want to keep it really short and succinct, and again, to keep it more effective than me waffling on for an hour about these thoughts and concepts and ideas. So that's where I'm at. It's an experiment for me to do less, to enjoy life more. And it feels kind of counterintuitive, because I'm still at a stage financially where I certainly could do with earning more. However, I have enough to just about cover my bills, to pay for food, to do the bare minimum of things I want. And I know that that's more important to me right now than scrambling away at this. So it's a weird one. It almost feels weird that I'm confessing that to you. So yeah, I'm recording this on Friday. I've just had Adeline for the last 2 days. It's been amazing. I got really emotional today saying goodbye to her. She left. She obviously loves her mum and is a primary caregiver. But for her to say to me today, I can't wait to come back down here and see you, was just another moment of me knowing what is the most important thing in my life, and that everything I'm doing now is to help me show up and to be a better dad. What do I mean by that? I mean by just to be fully emotionally available to her, to be in a place where I'm mentally stable, physically fit, emotionally balanced, and financially in a place to support her and the things that she will need and her mother will need. And that's that Jeff genuinely is front of mind for me at the moment, is doing that. And selfishly, to get to a point where I am able to provide her with the opportunity to experience other things that we're currently unable to because of finances. But that will come. And, it's getting out of my own head on that and thinking, oh, it's so important, take her to fucking Disney World and all these kind of things. It's like, just be there for her. Like we were just like running around the flat this morning, like playing pillow fights for 45 minutes, just going at it this morning until I handed her back to her mum. And her mum said to me, "I was like, I don't know what you've been doing." Like, she fell asleep straight in the car, and that's like unusual. It was like 10 a.m. I was like, yeah, we were going at it. So I was like, that's what's important as a parent. Like, she was with me, I was with her completely for that time, and those other things will come, but they're really not important. And I know, if I look back on my life, the memories I have of my family, the big ones, like, yeah, we did fucking Disney and that was awesome, but I actually remember more fondly moments of just being with my grandparents, parents, where they gave me their undivided attention. And I think in this distracted world, as a parent, the best thing you can do for your child is to show up for them and to give them your fucking attention. It's not that hard, but we don't do it. And without sounding too judgy, as a parent myself, I go out and see other parents. You got things like activities with them, and I don't know what it is. Parents are just on their fucking phones. Like, just get the fuck off your phone. Like, the best thing in your life is happening in front of you, and you're looking at a fucking screen. So there we go. And this is a good segue into this conversation today, and that is about boundaries. Now, boundaries are a big part of all of this thing I'm doing, because I'm putting in clear boundaries now around the hours I work, when I will communicate with clients, when I will do this, what I will, et cetera, et cetera. And the reason I feel empowered to do that, and I want to share that with you today, is that for the first time in my life, I feel confident with who I am in every aspect of this moment, right? And that is a work in progress, right? I've got to say that, but we're always going to be that. But here's the thing. I speak to a lot of people and coach a lot of people who have issues with boundaries. And the noticing for me is the further I move towards being happy with who I am and who I am in my own skin, creating boundaries is a lot easier, because I'm not trying to please people anymore. And this sounds weird, because like, you're a fucking coach, like, you serve people, and you know what, I do coach people, and the dynamic of a coaching relationship is a partnership, and it's one in which there is a certain amount of service because I'm serving them to help them on their journeys. However, that should never come at the expense of my own enjoyment of life. And if I am to truly represent that which I want as a coach, the greatest example I can give to them is to have clear boundaries and to delineate that. And I don't think that takes away from me being an effective coach. In fact, I think it makes me a more effective coach. So what does this mean for you? This means that I want you to consider where you struggle to set boundaries in your life, and to ask yourself why, and to start challenging those thoughts and ideas and concepts. So it's a few ways to think about this, and a few dynamics. And I think the three buckets are generally family, friends, and then work. Okay. So family. I love my family. I've had ups and downs in the past, but I'm very, very close to them. But setting boundaries with your family is probably one of the hardest things to do, because there's kind of almost like societal expectations as we just tolerate shit off our families. And that's not right? Okay, you do not deserve to take shit off of anyone in your life. And if you are dealing with someone in your life who's a member of your family who is making you feel not good, then you have absolutely every right to take a stand on that. So yeah, families, big one. Boundaries, families and boundaries. Have those difficult conversations. The sooner you do, the better you're going to be. With friends, I think one of the things with friendships is we are taught to play a game in life of friendships that almost, if we accumulate friendships, it somehow makes us better humans, right? We're playing the game of friendship collection. Friendships will come and go in this life. I think maybe you'll have a handful, one or two, of people who will last a lifetime with you. And that is okay, right? Friends, oh, that's a bit unprofessional. Friends for a reason and then friends for a season is what someone said to me once, I think as a therapist, and I completely agree with that. You will have to let friends go and be okay with that, because you are on a journey. Same as anything, even in a relationship, an intimate relationship is the same sort of thing. We're taught to cling to this idea of kind of some kind of permanence in these loving relationships. That just doesn't serve you at a certain point. So if you're struggling with those friendships that you're holding on to because you feel obligated to, but they don't genuinely give you anything anymore, then this is just permission for you to kind of not bother, right? Doesn't matter. If that sounds selfish and dickish, fine. But if you're not getting anything out of it, then don't do it. Okay, and then work, right? This is the last one. And I coach a lot of people in high kind of corporate jobs. And I know there are many cultures we work within now where the expectation is that we're always on, we're attached to email, etc., etc., etc. And it's not for me to think that I can change your company culture. I can just present you with the simple idea that for you as a human, as you go through life, you will at some point take stock of the decisions you've made in relation to the boundaries you've set, and therefore the time you've spent on these certain aspects of your life, okay? And if you are happy looking back, if you think you'll be happy looking back on your life with the decisions you're making now in relation to the use of your time and the boundaries or lack of boundaries you have around your work, then okay. But if you're not, then something needs to change. And that change, unfortunately, comes from you because you are the only one who can change that. And whether that is you just standing up and setting boundaries and riding the wave for it, seeking an alternative job, really putting pressure on whoever's in charge in your company. I don't really fucking care, but it's no good anymore for us to all just say, well, that's just the way it is, because we're collectively saying that, we're collectively surrendering to helplessness in this situation, and that's bollocks. It really is. We are all in charge of, our thoughts, our actions, and our ability to apply effort over those actions. Those are the things that are within our control. And so if we bring that back to all of this, we all equally have the power to make a different choice about that which we're going to do. And I don't know. You know what? Life's too short in all of these ways, in terms of your family, in terms of friendships, in terms of intimate relationships, and in terms of work, to sacrifice your own energy for the sake of these other things in your life, okay? It doesn't mean to say you shouldn't work hard. It doesn't mean to say you probably might not have to make sacrifices every once in a while to pursue that which is most important to you. But if you are completely lost in this at the moment, unable to take steps to create these boundaries, then that ultimately comes back to you and your own shit, and working on yourself and finding your own voice and building your own inner confidence. Because if you know who you are, you know what you value, you know what you want to do in this life, you know what's important to you, it's way fucking easier to say no and to be okay with the bumps in the road of life as they occur. Just prior to this, I just had a client cancel on me, and that a while ago would have been the kind of thing that would have sent me in a downward spiral. But he was someone who wasn't getting on. He wasn't responding to stuff. He's buried his head in what he's got going on in life, and he's not willing to engage in the process of coaching. And so for me, letting go of that is actually like a release right now. There's a financial implication, yeah, but then money comes and money goes. And I'm actually at a position now to buy food, pay the bills, and enjoy life. And so what I'm getting at here is, in every aspect of your life, the more you can be confident with who you are, the easier it is for you to stand up for what you believe in, what you do and don't want in this life, and the way easier it is in every aspect of your life to deal with the bumps in the road. So, there we go. I've tried to keep that short and sweet. Have a great week, whatever you're up to. Enjoy the weekend. I'm getting stuck into decorating this weekend, and see you all soon. Take care.